Known for his bruising runs and devastating blocks. Now he's bulldozing through sports talk with that same championship intensity. Joining him is his son, Xavier, a savant of football knowledge and statistical insight. He's your go-to source for the latest recruiting news and insider updates from across the Bama Nation and Simeon, the thinker and contemplator, bringing you insight and knowledge that is logical, thoughtful, and on point. Together, they deliver fair and balanced analysis from an insider's perspective with real conversations where the callers, the listeners, and the online maniacs get in on the action by sharing their thoughts, their comment, and their reaction. Join our online maniacs at facebook.com/The Martin Houston Show. You're listening to Tide 100.9 and 1230 WTBC. It's time for kickoff. So buckle up and get ready, because this is the sound of Bama Sports. The Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon is live. Roll Tide, roll!
Roll Tide, roll. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad to have you up and at 'em with us on this beautiful Wednesday edition of the program. It is a hump day edition. A wild card Wednesday, would you rather Wednesday, whatever you want it to be, it can be. It's up to you. Get in on the conversation on the hotline at 205-342-9904. That's how you can jump in a traditional way. But for all of those of you who jump in on the live stream, jump in on the chat, and we'll work you into the conversation. And if you happen to listen in on the live streaming app, we'll add you to the conversation as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see we got Justin Gore jumping in already, P. Fields jumping in, and several others will bring you into the conversation as we move forward. Today is game day for the basketball program. Let me see. You have this season has a BB before Bediako, and an AB and O Bediako in the year of in the moment of the Bediako, and now you have a post Bediako, a PB. So I guess the question is, what Alabama team will we have? Simeon hearing some interesting things happening as we move forward. What is your thoughts on the basketball program? Bediako out. Can this team make a run? Do they have the ingredients to get to the SEC finals, maybe win the SEC? When you look at the SEC, it's like a log jam. Everybody kind of got a couple of elite teams, and everybody else, and then a few bad ones. So Alabama taking on Ole Miss, chance to get their third win in a row. Maybe the first time they've done that in the SEC. Have we won 3 in a row in the SEC? I don't think so. So could be on a streak. We could talk about that. Also, last night we had the huddle. And we can bring some of that conversation in. I know some of you tune in to both. But last night we talked about if you could bring back any offensive lineman, who would you bring back? Some dogs out there. We had a lot of good names out there, and but it was not that we necessarily had a particular lineman. We went all the way back to John Hanna. I mean, and all of the ones we had all had the same mindset. I didn't even throw my teammate in there, Big Rosie, Roosevelt Patterson. You just had to have a little dog in you, had to have a little edge in you. And we talked about that. And the question was, do we have anybody that has that in any position? Do we have any dogs at any position? And it came out that when we finally finished that conversation, guys, it was what? Our DBs was our nastiest guys. And that's okay to have nasty DBs, but you need some guys that struggle to get their jersey over their belly to be your big nasties. So we talking about that, but we've been teasing it for a little while. We're going to start our power rankings today. And power rankings include, and I'm going to post this on the online chat, but if you listen on the radio airwaves, we're going to do a power ranking and we're going to go through offense, we're going to go through defense, we're going to go through position by position, and we're going to hit these 4 qualities, unless you guys want to throw a 5th one in, if you want to. But the 4 we're going to look at is what's the ceiling in that room? What's the depth in that room? What's the leadership in that room? And do you have a game changer in that room? And we're gonna rank them, 1 through 10 or whatever. Y'all want to give them ABCs, or y'all want to give them a rank? What y'all want to do? Y'all want to give them points? Each one has 25 points. It adds up to 100 when we add it up. So that'll be good, and then that'll give us a grade.
That might be a little difficult. I think
Why?
the
Why?
I think the grade I think the grade system's better.
You mean easier?
Yes.
You said easy. You said better. You meant easier. No.
Simpler.
But see, let me tell you why. We'll go with the grade system. Let me tell you why I don't like the grade system.
Why?
Just throwing out A, B, and C. It's just like when you do performance reviews, and you're sitting down, and your boss only has they can give you 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, right? And they'll give you a 3, but you're 3.9. And then they give your coworker a 3, and they're a 3. But they're not gonna give you a 4 because you're not quite hitting the 4 mark. It looks like y'all the same. They won't give you, nobody gets a 5, so they give you a 4, but you're really a 4.5. That's the problem with grades. Just giving somebody an A, B, C, or D. That's the challenge, not the problem. Is it's hard to separate. But since we're doing it internally, we'll just give them a grade, make it easier for our listening audience to participate as well. Man, trying to think. So once again, the power rankings is ceiling. P Fields said, "Do we work for the same company?" Unfortunately, P Fields, that's how performance reviews. It was always my complaint in every company I worked for. That was always my complaint. Is the way your system, at least let me be able to put some points in there, 3.1, 3.5, to separate the 3 that's barely a 3 from the 3 that's almost a 4. So anyway, the 4 thing ceiling. Well, actually, let's start with depth. It'll be depth, ceiling, leadership, and game changer. And like I said, there's a bunch. There's 10,000 other things, but I think we can get all the other attributes by talking about these types of things and conversations. So we'll start that. We're going to start with the quarterback room. So be thinking on that for the moment. Remember that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone. Be the difference you want to see in the world today. All right, guys, take it away, man. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah. So the Alabama Crimson Tide is taking on the Ole Miss Rebels tonight on the court, and this is the first game without Charles Bediako. And I feel like Alabama has had so many different types of teams because of the lack of consistency in the starting lineup. But so I'm assuming without Bediako, we're going to have Noah Williamson step up a ton, which he's only had one good game this year, and it was the Kentucky game. And so maybe if we can get a revival of that Noah Williamson, I think Alabama will take care of Ole Miss handily, but if not, and you force Aiden Sherrill to become that face, that big that has to get all the rebounds, I think Alabama's going to struggle just like they've struggled to out rebound any team. And I think that will be a struggle from this game until the end of the season if they don't somehow figure out a way as a team to rebound better.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once again how you go back through and replace Bediako's production, and even though he didn't have like crazy numbers, his presence was felt in the middle of this Alabama defense, and the threat for the lob is something that was really impactful in a few of these games. But how do you replace that? Who do you replace that with? You know, we talked a little bit last night about Amari Allen, how he's actually leading the team in rebounds. But do you want a guy that's probably also your best wing defender to have to be your best defender down low in the box? No. So Noah Wilson has to step up. We got to figure out what's going on with Keaton Bristow. Taylor Bowen has to be more impactful for this team. It's a lot of things when you look at how do you just replace the presence of a Charles Bediako, even though the numbers weren't eye popping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Sammy.
there's not one player on this team that can replace that presence. It has to be more team rebounding. And I don't know if that's the style that Nate Oates wants because it feels like as soon as any shot goes up, they get back on. They're trying to start a fast break. And so when you're not sending guys to crash the boards, no wonder you're not getting many rebounds. And Aiden Sherrill isn't the type of big man to fight to get 10, 15 rebounds a game. And then with Bristow, Xavier, like you said, I've seen even in his camp per Nate Oates is deciding on whether they want to do a red shirt this season. So I'm not sure if we're gonna see him anytime soon. If not, we might never see him, suit up for Alabama again. And he was one of those guys that was the hard hat type of player. And so missing out on that as well, along with no longer having Bediako, is definitely troublesome.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and get the break. I'll give you my thoughts on the other side, and then ask you guys a couple questions about Bediako and about this team. But I do agree with some of those thoughts, and have a couple questions I'd like to ask on it. Coming back on the other side, we'll continue the Bediako saga as Alabama tries to move on beyond Bediako. Good experience, bad experience, is what are you looking for, thoughts, etc. From this Alabama team, chance to make a statement, even though it's not a great team they're playing. It's still a chance for them to make a statement tonight post Bediako. Will they do it? We'll break that down on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa and Burke's Garden flyover bridge construction and slowdowns are happening on Skyline Boulevard at I-359. Also in Greater Alberta, road improvements still continue on University Boulevard between Arcadia Drive and Crescent Ridge Road until late 2027. Also in Coker, keep your eyes out for the slow ride both east and west. That's with road work and cone blockage on US 82 between Bill George Road and Shelley Hughes Road. From the Tuscaloosa Traffic Center, Rodney Holiday.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
At Townsend Nissan, we bring the value. Drive the 2026 Sentra for just $279 a month, one of the lowest payments in Alabama. Plus, a lifetime powertrain warranty and 3 years of free oil changes when you mention Steve in DC. Townsend Nissan, your family in the car business.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. end their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Hey, this is Richard Adams with Adams Heating and Cooling. The air your family breathes passes through your home's duct system multiple times per day. Corroded, leaking, or dirty ductwork wastes energy as well as diminishes comfort and degrades indoor air quality. It's a threat to both your health and your budget, which is exactly why you should call your local experts at Adams Heating and Cooling for a complete range of duct services. Our trained and qualified professionals will inspect and verify the condition of your duct system. Call us 205-339-6540 or visit us at adamsheatingandcoolinginc.com.
Hey guys, are you ready to take control of your health, energy, and performance? Primetime Men's Health Clinic is ready to help. Their clinic is built around the idea that men deserve better care, private and tailored to their lives. So if you're experiencing low testosterone, weight gain, hair loss, ED, or just want to perform like you did in your 20s, go to primetimemensclinic.com and change your life. That's right, guys. Change your life by going to primetimemensclinic.com.
That was phenomenal on being absolutely stunning.
Bama Gymnastics can't celebrate Big Al's birthday without you. Purchase single meet tickets for the whole family so you don't miss out on our Power of Pink celebration, Capes and Crowns extravaganza, Neon Party, and the Be the Change Carnival in Coleman. Get ready for legendary entertainment with the Alabama Crimsonettes pre-meet performances every home meet. You don't want to miss Bama Gymnastics in Coleman Coliseum. Get your tickets today at RollTide.com.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Showers ending this morning. We could see some clearing this afternoon. The high 65. For tonight, mostly fair and colder. The low 38. For tomorrow and Friday, the sky partially sunny both days. Highs between 62 and 65. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 57 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning, a wild card Wednesday. Would you rather Wednesday? What's up Wednesday? We were talking Alabama hoops, but we do have our power rankings that we're going to start the conversation today. We're going to start on the offensive side of the ball. We'll start with an overall preliminary ranking as far as just getting a general thought and then see if we can change our minds once we talk through it, because sometimes you ever done a preliminary assessment and then when you start digging in you change that. So we'll give a little preliminary. I think that's what the guys have also started doing is we've gotten a couple rankings already. And so we'll start. Let's just start with the overall offensive, just to throw it out there. Not any discussion. Just kind of a quick ranking when we get to that in the next segment. How do you rank the offense, right? So we'll talk about that. But real quick, the situation with Bediako, it sounds like Simeon. I can't tell if Bristow is a guy that's wanting to get out of here. You know, we hadn't talked a lot about it. We've talked about what Bediako brings to the team, but did the Bediako thing potentially hurt more than help now that he's not ineligible? Now, it was definitely an improvement, and Alabama was getting better with him. Just FYI, Alabama was getting better with him, and they were only 5 games in. So the experiment was getting better. The question is, today, is Alabama a better basketball team than they were a month ago or 3 weeks ago, or worse?
They were definitely getting better.
No, I'm not. No. Are they better today than they were before Bediako? Are they worse today because they spent the last 3 weeks building around what Bediako said? Did this experiment help or hurt not the record, but the team?
I would have to say because he was taking minutes from somebody or multiples, that now that you've lost them, it could be a detriment.
I mean, he was taking minutes from Noah Williamson. He took all those minutes.
And
then
what about Briscoe? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Bristow now maybe he would have come back earlier from his injury or whatever. I feel like Bristow might be leaning towards him wanting to leave, or at least an NIL disagreement or something like that I've seen. And so I feel like Bristow in itself, Bediako coming back might not have been the only reason why he's thinking about a red shirt. It might be just more than an NIL disagreement.
Yeah. And Q Dixon said, I challenge that, and that he's challenging is my statement that they were getting better with Bediako. They had their worst loss of the season. No, they didn't. They got smoked by Arizona, and they got did by Gonzaga, even though they were close at times. I just think the Florida thing, you just kind of you can't put that on Bediako. That's a Nate Oates versus Golden system. They have gotten 100 points, 99. The last 5 games, they came up 1 point short of 100 one time, and it was 99. The beatdown that they got from Florida is the beatdown they've gotten the last 4 times from Florida. Nothing was new. So I don't look at that and say that's Bediako, the team was worse. I think his team
and the other loss was Tennessee, right?
Right, which is Florida light. And the guard, the Aments, went off on them. So for me, that's what I would say. That's why I say they were getting better, because you look at the last couple of games, they were figuring out how to use them and all that. But my point is, they're worse today. That means that the team is worse and going to be bad because they still don't have chemistry. They still don't have a starting lineup. They still don't know they don't have an identity. To me, or a good identity, in my opinion. He said they beat Illinois and St. John's without him, though. I agree. I'm not saying this was a good team. I said they were getting better. This team was getting better. This team, Bediako added what we said. Now was he doing it at as big a level? Bediako was adding what this team needed. Bediako, I put it like this: if Bediako had been with this team all season, Aiden Sherrill may be getting ready to leave the team because the guy would show he could step out to the 3-point line. But also, the reason I say that they were getting better was Sherrill was getting to play really his style. Out around the 3, and then could drop down low. But
A Grant Nelson type role of being a stretch big.
Right. But you remember what he did before we added Bediako? Didn't he have back-to-back 20-point games right before we added Bediako?
Yep.
Now the question is, does Cheryl even want to go back down there? You understand? You see what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at it going, did he get spoiled getting to shoot that 3? But he was beginning to pick up. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like it's just I'm concerned, not necessarily with tonight, but we didn't talk about the chemistry of this team. Did this experiment possibly implode the chemistry, and are we still trying to find that?
They're still definitely trying to find it. Who's gonna be that fourth person? Who's gonna be that new person in the starting lineup again? Because you're gonna get significantly smaller. Because is it London Jemison? Are you putting Wrightsell back in the starting lineup and you have 3 guards that are 6'4" and shorter? You know, is it Amari Allen playing the 4? So I just think you just get significantly smaller without
one way or another.
Yeah, and the question was, Jacob Powell said he wasn't giving them points. He was getting what? Probably what did he average? 10, 8 to 10 points a game.
Yeah, something like that.
The other thing that he gave to me was I think Fallon and Holloway got to the rim more because you couldn't just jump off and stop them because of the alley-oop that was the lob threat. So I think he helped those guys as well. But more importantly, other than the Florida game, I do think he played better inside and changed some teams. Because in basketball, you don't always count just what they score. You count what they keep the other team from scoring. So you'll miss a 7-footer. If we had him, I'd celebrate. But I was excited about this team before Bediako was coming because, to QD's point, I saw what they did against everybody but Arizona until SEC play. It was like they went to break after and quit and didn't come back as the same team.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with that standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, the team that played before the break, even though we had the Arizona loss, you still felt good about Alabama.
I don't feel like it's the same team at all. I feel like if Alabama were to play St. John's, Illinois again, I'm not sure if I would be as confident going into that game again if Alabama would beat them with this team.
The question you have to ask yourself is the SEC that tough and that deep, or is it everybody has kind of moved to the center? Because it could be that the SEC is just stacked, and when they get in the tournament, they're going to be, because Florida is the highest ranked. Last week I didn't check. Florida was like 14, and that was the highest ranked SEC school. You give me 13 teams, and I guarantee you I'm going to take Florida over some of them.
Right.
Right?
I think it's more of a style thing, though. I think it.
Alabama's? Absolutely.
Alabama's style doesn't. A lot of the teams in the SEC are just a lot bigger, or more built like the Arizona. So I think that's also why Alabama's had more struggles. Because those St. John's and Illinois teams, they were ripping and running. And if you're going to be running a fast break, nonstop offense, that's going to cater to Alabama more times than not.
Wow, look at this. a couple comments, and we'll get the break here. Respond, guys. Unfortunately, Bediako was a distraction. I think it hurt us. I feel for him, though. He got a lot of uncalled for verbal abuse. If we're hot on threes, we can beat most teams, but Arizona, Michigan would be tough. I think they misused Bediako at the start, trying to showcase him rather than have him fit into the existing scheme. For me, unnecessary drama or confusion, and we know who the author of confusion is. I think it hurt the team. I don't think they got better. He added a little value. We saw that versus Florida. And then last but not least, Hollywood DeBarber said, without Chuck, we'd be on a 5-game losing streak.
I don't know if I'd say that.
I think Auburn beats us.
A&M probably gets us because that's a 3-point game. I think Charles is worth 5 points, 6 points.
And who else did we beat?
Was it State?
We blew Mizzou out.
Missouri. So we might be 1-4. All right, let's get to break.
Get rid of Nate Oates.
Coming back. Hey, listen, I was excited about this team before Bediako. I want to get excited about this team again. Noah Williamson, we need you to be what we thought you are. Like in the words of Denny Green, Minnesota, they are who we thought they were. We need some of that for this Alabama Crimson Tide team. We hadn't seen it in a while. Will we see it post Bediako? We'll be watching tonight. We'll talk about it on tomorrow. Coming back on the other side, we're going to open up our conversation around the Houston Power Rankings and give you a chance to give us your thoughts, your comments, reactions, and your grades. We're going to give just a quick overview. We're not going to get into any detail on the offensive side of the ball, but the Power Rankings, the Houston Power Rankings starts now.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa and Burke's Garden flyover bridge construction and slowdowns are happening on Skyline Boulevard at I-359. Also in Greater Alberta, road improvements still continue on University Boulevard between Arcadia Drive and Crescent Ridge Road until late 2027. Also in Coker, keep your eyes out for the slow ride both east and west. That's with road work and cone blockage on US 82 between Bill George Road and Shelley Hughes Road. From the Tuscaloosa Traffic Center, Rodney Holiday.
It's a crime to pay more than one dime down. So get to Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Plus, they have acres of certified pre-owned. TuscaloosaCDJR.com.
Whether you're a working professional or an active dad, Gameday Men's Health in Tuscaloosa offers convenient expert back care for all men looking to feel and perform their best. They specialize in testosterone therapy, ED, weight loss therapy, and peptide therapy. Their easy 3-step personalized treatment plan will get you on the right track to feeling and performing better. All you have to do is stop by Gameday Men's Health at 1013th Street East in Tuscaloosa for a free consultation.
This Valentine's Day, be sure to check out Sue's Flowers on Main Avenue in downtown Northport. They offer impressive fresh bouquets, decadent treats, plush animals, blooming plants, and other romantic surprises. If you're looking for the wow look, call Sue's Flowers for truly original Valentine's Day gifts. Sue's fresh Valentine flower arrangements bloom brighter and will impress her friends, her family, and everyone who will see them. Sue's Flowers is sure to have a bouquet she'll love. Call 758-2100 today.
Hey, man, thanks for coming so fast. I couldn't get anyone else to pick up.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm not complaining, though. Business is way up lately.
Wow, good for you. I've been trying to grow my accounting practice, but it's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I was in the same boat last year. What really helped me was checking out this site, mylocalcustomers.com.
Never heard of it.
Well, most people haven't. It gives you a look at how many people in town are searching for what you do, and it also provides a plan to help them actually find you.
Like online?
Exactly. It's eye-opening, and it only takes a couple minutes to get started.
Huh. Well, you fixed my sink. Maybe you just fixed my business, too.
Want to know how many people in your area are searching for your type of business? Start with a local customer analysis at mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com today.
That's mylocalcustomers.com. Mylocalcustomers.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama Sports Talk 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. What's the name? Close it out with a good point. P. Field said we have to win the next few games, or they'll be pointing to the Bediaco as that's why they won those games, and then it'll give credence to McMillan, Bucky out of A&M. So Alabama needs to go on have about a 4 or 5 game win streak, combine at least 2 or 3 in a row without Bediaco.
Right.
All right. Hey guys, let's go ahead. We preliminary jumping into this, the Houston Power Rankings, spring 2026, grading Alabama unit by unit, position by position, on depth, ceiling, leadership, game changer ability. This is powered by the Martin Houston Show and the Houston Huddle. So, guys, just jump. What's your first thoughts right there on offense? From an offensive standpoint, what's your grade on depth?
As a whole?
The offensive depth.
C minus, because it's a lot of unproven depth. There's a lot there, but most of it's unproven.
I would say C plus, just because there are a couple positions that I think are pretty solid depth wise, but the offensive line is kind of the major part of the offensive depth piece, and there's just so much unproven there.
Yeah, and yours was a C, Xavier?
C minus.
C minus. Dang, you enter that minus in there?
Yeah, because I mean, we've got 2 5-star quarterbacks, a 4-star quarterback, but there's nothing proven. The running back room, yeah, we got some 5 stars, nothing proven. And you can go that way across the entire group of offensive line.
All right, yeah, and I'm right there with you. I think right now you have to say before spring practice that it's a C. First unit may be good, but what happens after that, we don't know, because we don't even know who the first unit is yet. For half of our team, we don't even know who it is. If you look at O-line and running backs, the P. Fields gave it a C. Q. Dixon gave it a C. Jacob Powell gave it a C. Yeah, wow. So everybody that's throwing it out there right now is giving them a C in the C range. So P Fields actually gave a C minus. Yeah, X, you and P Fields in that same boat. Ceiling. What's the potential for this offense?
Easy A. Yeah, I mean that's like in my mind. There's not because I think if you're ceiling it, if everybody hits on their potential, I think we have a Heisman candidate at quarterback. Either guy at quarterback. If Ryan Williams steps back up and has an explosive junior year, that he's one of the best wide receivers in the draft, and I think the offensive line they can gel, and the running back room can gel. This team has a top offense in the nation, one of the top offenses in the nation.
Yeah, I agree with Sammy. And when you look at each room, there's a couple guys that you go, man, if it clicks, this can be nasty. Across the board, offensive line, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. See, you didn't mention the tight ends. They're young, but good night, man. The potential of a Caleb Edwards, a Josh Ford, a Marshall Pritchett, that's top end potential.
Yeah, and you have to look at and go, what has Alabama done in recruiting the last 3 years?
Top 3, top 2, top 5 classes.
That's all potential is, right? I mean,
Right.
potential is who do you have on your roster that could do something? Now, if we break it down in what do you think the likely production is, that's a different story. But I think from a ceiling standpoint, and we'll break this ceiling down by position, I think it's an A plus, not just an A. Because I think if you go position by position, if our depth shows up, the ceiling and the potential from quarterback to running back to wide receiver. The only question I have a potential wise, but we have some guys even on the O-line that are high ceiling guys if they reach their potential. So I give them an A plus there. Q Dixon gave a B. P Fields gave a B plus. See who else is in here. Q Dixon. Jacob Powell gave a B plus. So there's not a big difference between what we were thinking and what they were thinking there.
We have a little bit more optimism. That's the best. That's the best they think they can do is a B. Dang.
Q Dixon said this coaching staff is really betting on themselves to develop this team next year. And Q Dixon, remember Q Dixon answered his from the coaching standpoint. Remember, I'm saying if everybody reaches their potential, if Grubb reaches his potential as the offensive coach, this is it. Okay. So Grubb, I asked Q Dixon, and we'll quickly get these other two. If Grubb reaches his potential as a coach, what's his ceiling based on Washington? He has a pretty high ceiling, right? Not what he did, but if he reaches his ceiling, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? How do you grade him then? What about leadership? And we need to get through these two pretty quick.
I'll give a B. I'll give a B plus because what you're probably going to be looking for your leadership are guys that might be a little different than what you're expecting. Where you might get.
Do we have a senior on this offense? We have a redshirt. We have a couple redshirt juniors.
We have some guys come from the portal,
but on offense that are going to be seniors. I don't think there is one.
I mean, I count a fourth year guy as a senior.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We got redshirt juniors, but we don't have a. So I mean, B plus. We don't have a guy that this will be their fourth year on the field playing.
I don't think so. Well, the kid from what you call it has played 3 years, Cal Poly, but right?
No, he'll be a redshirt junior.
I thought he played 3 years already. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm tough on leadership, and I don't know. I haven't seen any, so I'm probably gonna give them right now. Not like if they hit their potential in leadership. The only one I'm giving potential to hit is under ceiling because that's looking at potential. When I'm looking at actually proven leadership, I'm gonna have to give them a C plus because there's nobody that's proven it. So, all right, quick, so we got to get the break here. The last one is game changer, and we're gonna circle back on this one for sure.
A plus. You have several game changers at every position.
Yeah, I'll give it an A. You look across the board. There's guys that you know can do it.
Yeah, and I have to give it to me an A. To me, you have to give it an A as well because I think every position has one. That could be a game changer. Now, will they? I don't know. So we'll pick these grades up. We'll review them tomorrow. We'll get your thoughts on it. We'll work on getting these posted out there and let them marinate a little bit. But love to know your thoughts. We'll be back tomorrow with same bat time with more of the power rankings, the Houston power rankings for the spring of 2026. And come back on the other side, we'll have Scotty Hollins, Executive Director of Blueprint Ministries. I'm glad we started, but I hate we didn't have more time to dig deeper. I guess you have to come back tomorrow to hear the rest of the story. It's been the Martin Houston Show. We'll be back on the other side. More with Scotty Hollins, Executive Director of Blueprint Ministries.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Drivers going to want to take some extra caution this morning with some wet roadways out there. Things are looking pretty good. Other than that, though, we're moving at the speed limit. No major incidents slowing down travel or taking out lanes. We do have some long-term road construction effect, but just some minor delays here and there, like on University Boulevard, some road improvement work taking place in between Arcadia Drive and Crescent Ridge Road, and some long-term road construction on Highway 82 in between Bill George Road and Shelley Hughes Road. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I am Craig Weinman.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, girl.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
The Venue, your new favorite Tuscaloosa hangout, food, music, and more. Come and taste what's new at The Venue, whether it's Liza's Sweet Shop, whether it's the all-day breakfast and burgers from Ramajama's, or the quality food that you can get at Finish Pub. Great atmosphere, great time, great people, great environment. That's The Venue. You can find them online at thevenuetuscaloosa.com, located off of Watermelon Road, just past Sokol Park. That's The Venue, Tuscaloosa's new favorite hangout. Make it yours.
So, when was the last time you saw your doctor?
Uh-huh. If your last checkup was sometime between VHS tapes and flip phones, it's time. Say hello to Live Well Primary Care, West Alabama's newest clinic for getting your health back on track. With Dr. Baldeck and Dr. Steele now accepting new patients, you've got no excuse. Call 205-343-8070 to book your appointment today. That's 205-343-8070. Located in the DCH Medical Tower. Live Well Primary Care. It's time.
If you have an unsightly crack on the walkway leading up to your house, maybe your front porch or your back patio, take care of it. It's affordable. Our friends at APS will do that for you. Alabama Professional Services, 4th generation family business. They will come over. They'll do a free inspection. Again, affordable. Get a free estimate from APS. Contact them at alabamaprofessional.com. alabamaprofessional.com. They'll also take care of any problems you got with a damp crawl space or a crack in your foundation. They even do pest control and lawn care. Full service. Alabama Professional Services at alabamaprofessional.com.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. It's now time for the Harvest Church Christian Moment of the Week, and that means we get to bring in Executive Director of Blueprint Ministries, Scotty Hollins. Good morning, Scotty. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Thanks for stepping in and speaking for me on Sunday. Heard nothing but good news before I even got on the road in Texas. Somebody sent me, told me, said, you better not miss, man. He might take your spot. You better be careful. So thank you, man. And thanks for bringing a guest. You made a lot of people's day by bringing thanks. I'm glad Betty Acko joined you. I don't know if you brought him or he just travels with you some, but either way, thanks, man. It was great.
Yeah, hey, my pleasure. And actually, you know, we've been on a series, First Things First, here at the first of the year. I'm going to actually give people a glimpse of what I was able to share at your church. And as I always say, every message I share, Martin, is for me first, right? And it's what God's teaching me through the seasons of life. And so I talked about not wasting the wait. The message was don't waste the wait. And I'll just give a brief overview. We'll get back to our series next week on First Things First, but we just talked about how everybody's going through something, and there are times where we go through seasons of life where the adversity that we're facing isn't just here, and it's not just drifting through. It makes itself at home. It stays with us for a little bit. And we talked about the adversities that we actually face as kind of burdens or heavyweight. And so the point is, when you got a season of adversity, a season of carrying a burden, a heavy weight, the question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to, we talked about two ways you can handle that adversity. You can handle it reactively. And if you handle it reactively, then you just kind of, you don't have a plan, and you allow the weight to discourage you to the point of crushing you. You allow the weight to worry you to the point of distracting you. And so we talked about, that's the reactive response. And I said the worst reactive response is we allow the weight to stop us. We're carrying this heavy weight, and God has a purpose for it, and we allow it to literally stop us in our tracks. And so we talked about 3 proactive responses, Martin. And the first one was to make sure that we allow the weight to push us to Jesus and not from him. You know, a lot of times when we carry heavy weights, when we're going through adversity, we're going through difficult situations, sometimes we'll question the Lord. And we'll say, man, if God was really good, if he was really loving, if he was really fill in the blank, then he wouldn't allow, And I just talked about, let's look at what Jesus actually tells us. Matthew 11:28, you've heard me say this in a bunch. Jesus says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. And he says, and I will give you rest. And so there are many good places to go, Martin, when we're going through difficult seasons and when we're carrying heavy weights and heavy burdens. But Jesus says there's one best place. He says, come to me. Come to me. If you're weary, that means you're tired. If you're burdened, that means you're carrying a heavy weight. He says, come to me. And so we elaborated. I elaborated on that. We kind of spent some time there. The second proactive response is to go to your brothers. go in Christ. Go to your sisters in Christ. Go to the body of Christ. And there are many scriptures that encourage us to do that. One says, hey, we should carry one another's burdens. Hey, there's one. And then, of course, Proverbs 27:17 says this: as iron sharpens iron, so will one man sharpen another. And then there's a really good passage in Ecclesiastes that really, I think, goes in depth and talks about how important it is to lean on each other as you go through difficult circumstances and situations. And it just talks about how two are better than one, and you know that passage. And so we looked at that, and then the final reason or proactive response we looked at was just the fact that God uses those heavy weights to grow us and to grow our character. We use James chapter 1, verses 2-4. It says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds." He says, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. He says the testing of your faith actually produces perseverance. Perseverance is character. He says, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And the reality is, we all, as we go through difficult things, we all lack some things. None of us are mature and complete, not lacking anything. And God is saying, I'm going to use that very thing that you're carrying to make you mature and complete, not lacking anything. And so that's what I want to encourage everybody who's listening. Don't waste the weight, man. Run to Jesus, run to your brothers, and allow God to grow your character.
That's awesome. And I'm going to have to go back and listen to that, because if I'm being open and honest, it's been a heavy week for me. And thank you for sharing that, because my wife, if she was listening in here, she'd be like, amen, Scotty. Preach to him. so you already gave me a little juice this morning. Now I'm gonna go back and listen to that entire message. Not just the Bible says that him who has ears hear. So I'm not gonna just go through it. I'm gonna listen with my spirit antenna tuned in, and realize that God's speaking to me, not just at me or to others. So thanks for that word.
Praise the Lord.
That's
you can go to www.blueprinttuscaloosa.com. Send me a message there. Come straight to my email.
Man, I'm serious about that. Thanks, man. I needed that.
Thank you, brother.
And I hope that those in the listening audience did as well. God bless. Trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. We'll be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And for those who are listening out there, I'm going to explain the difference between a ceiling and a game changer on tomorrow, so that we can make sure we get the right grades. Remember, I'm Martin Houston. That's Simeon Houston, Xavier Houston, and Scotty Hollins. This has been the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier Houston. Roll Tide, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.